got you. Yeah, welcome to the show. Oh, jumping in here, we got some grumpy people. So I know. So we're gonna talk about the grumpy people. You know, the grumpy people in Sarasota, Florida. Yeah, the HOA. Yeah, the HOA. They HOAHHOHAY. Okay, that's all front, back, sideways. Oh, yeah, I'm a little worked up, but not from the music. You know, I got my police hat on, or maybe I'll get that worked out. I got my badge too, just in case there's a situation. Oh yeah, we in the situation room right here. And the situation is that the HOA attorneys that do the foreclosing for the HOA, yeah, there's these certain ones, they a little grumpy. They're a little grumpy. You know, they like picking on women and children. I'm not going to say defenseless women and children, okay, because this client, okay, she's actually a customer, okay? But in the email that I sent to the attorney's asses, I reference her as a client because they would trigger their superior entitlement and make them act stupid, and it did. So he emailed me back and to, you know, I don't even think he looked at the RICO lawsuit that my client customer. Okay, come on, coach, I got this. I didn't think you looked at the documents and email, or he wouldn't be pissing me off with this stupid shit. Okay, and he sent me some shit saying, "Oh, I find that you're not a licensed attorney in Florida, nor even in Kansas, where you apparently reside and do business holding yourself out on internet for assistance in fighting foreclosures." And then they put a link to my LinkedIn page that I haven't been to in like 4 years. 4 years. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. You think it would just Google my damn name, you know? Nah, maybe that's why he's acting all disrespectful and stupid and shit. But you know what? That's all right, because I replied back to him and told him that he was full of shit. And I put the link in there showing that the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that no state can license a practical law. They don't have no licensing. With all they got is a bar card. Okay, but you know what? There is a situation. And the situation is that I don't have a license to practice law or whatever. And you post that shit, and I'm sure you told all the other people, all the other RICO conspirators that was in email, I'm sure you told them the same thing. So since I have a license and what's going on ain't have a damn thing to do with law, then I'm thinking you just defamed me. Professional defamation. Now, Mr. Lobach, whatever the hell your name is, and we'll get to your website here in a little while so everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. Mr. Lobach, I don't know if you're aware or if you do attorney stuff for real, but professional defamation, all you got to do is print that shit, say that shit, and not be able to back that shit up, which you printed and said it, and you can't back it up because I got a license. I gave it to my damn self. I have them on my website now, and I marked them down so that everybody else, you guys give yourselves a damn license, so we gave ourselves one too. There you go, butthead. What are you going to do about that? I got a badge. Take it. I'm in the situation room. Oh, yeah, you send me your thing all in capital letters like you're all grumpy and mad. I don't give a shit about none of that. I care about having somebody learn how to punch y'all asses in the face for the fraud y'all pulling. Okay, so I'm just going to throw it out there on the table. Okay, number one, you ain't got no license. Okay, and the underwriter practical law is told, oh, okay, yeah, state and claim without leave, that's bullshit too. Guys, that's total bullshit. There's no such thing as stating a claim for all that shit, you know. Oh, wait, and they're making you change your plea and all that shit to the standard of a licensed attorney, and attorneys don't have no license, but you do. You can get one at winningcourtnow.com. You know, they can get your license so you can have your. Oh, wait, Mr. John, name's John. I don't know what the hell. If I file federal case law and federal acts, which is how we bring criminal liability to the table for y'all happy asses, if we file a document in state court, where you're an attorney with a license. You lying ass. Okay, so can you respond to it? No, you can't respond to a damn thing that people from jump to because we use federal case law and federal acts which bring criminal liability to for your ass, your asses. But you can't respond to shit with statutes and codes because statutes and codes are not valid laws. They don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. They don't have the three elements that the federal Constitution mandates must be present to be a valid law. They don't. What are those three things? Okay, well, the enacting clause tells people from what authority the law comes from and who's subject to following it. Oh, that would be a policy from a corporation that don't have no authority to do shit. But they trick people into thinking that statutes and codes just you trick people. Oh, that's the RICO part. Fraudulent concealment. Fraudulent concealment is a legal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations. So I can bring that shit to the table anytime. I don't care. I'm saying shit. My dog Lily over there is trying to tell me to be nice. Fraudulent concealment tolls the statute of limitations. We use that at the front of the lawsuit as a cause of action. What the hell? Why not? Everything that you guys do is fraudulently concealed. The HOA, all of those documents that they have people, the bylines and all that shit is fraudulently concealed. That shit's set up to take your stuff as soon as you, or maybe they want you out and they start doing what they're doing to my customer. Yeah, running the bills. Oh, wait. So I'm just going to throw it on the table. Now, I haven't done my homework on the financial side. We'll get that shit when we start the RICO seizure and share the records, okay? But I'm not a dumbass, okay? I can hear noise in the background when I'm talking to my clients. What's going on? Oh, they're building a whole new unit over there, and they're dropping in a spiral stairway. Oh, damn. Really? Yeah. Who's that for? The owners or the board? Somebody. It ain't for the people that's living over here that got issues with the stuff, their refrigeration unit on the roof is leaking and causing damages to the properties below. No, they'd like to run you out. So they spend it. I'm just going to go out on a limb here because, Mr. Low back, if you can come to the stream and bring your numbers and prove to me that I'm wrong, okay? Because I'm not that smart. I play football and college and I box. Those teams not smart people. But if somebody's running a non-for-profit organization, corporation, and they have these condos and they're taking these fancy condos right by the beach, and those fancy condos right by the beach aren't getting cared for, the money is not being written to the upkeep. Okay, so for me, non-for-profit means that there ain't no profit. All this shit over here is working well. And then officers are getting paid, okay? The officers are getting new shit over there with a round circle stairwell and all that fancy shit. I already report y'all ass to the IRS, okay? Because I already know, Mr. Lowback, I already know that y'all ass, because I checked, y'all asses don't get the 883 asset allocation statement that you're supposed to have every time you see somebody's property. You don't get that stuff. You don't get... There's a couple of other IRS forms. Yeah, I have a friend that used to, and I'm pretty sure that y'all ass ain't done none because you're not used to people knowing this stuff, okay? And so that's where we're at right now. And I report y'all asses to the IRS, and we're going to be filing a counterclaim into the state shit. All of the crap that you have against this customer. Yeah, I'm having fun, but I'm serious as hell. And I'm not allowed to show you the document or y'all the document with her name because I don't have which is fine. I got no problem. I'm going to show y'all attorney sorry asses. Okay, but you know what? On the document, I got her back. I signed it. There you go. And then she'll sign it above mine. And then email address on there too. And then there's a couple other documents about my representation of her. That's what you want to call it. Well, I got an affidavit about her. You can object to that shit if you want to, but I think you might want to take a look at some other stuff. It's going to be more important than this pilly whining shit that you're doing right now, because none of that stuff is going to help. So you might want to take a look at that. Okay, so let's just go down this rabbit hole. How do you get yourself in a situation where they have total control over your property? Well, I'm going to tell you, the whole system is structured to do just that. The property transfer system is structured to do that. The statute that they're supposed to follow, not us. They make y'all think we're supposed to follow the statutes, but the statutes aren't for us. The statutes are for their asses to make it fair for us. Okay? But the statute for property transfers that your deed supposed to be delivered to your property and that it's not conveyed, yada, yada, yada. But that's not what happens. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they're registered in their office. And then, so what's constructive delivery, Coach? Well, I looked it up. I sat there for a whole bunch of years. I finally looked it up when I started working with smart people because they ask questions. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that your property was switched from private property that is protected under the Constitution in not one but two different places, private property, to one of their commercial designations, which generally is agricultural, commercial, or residential. And residential actually means of a government official. I know people get mad, start yelling at me about that shit, and then they want me to send them stuff to prove what I said. And of course, I'm like, you guys can go and do your research, because I done mine. Okay, so they register your okay, but see, here's the thing. I'm not that smart. So I gotta keep up with this shit. So the fact that the alleged lender on the lien proves that you own the property already, and I smell stink. Attorneys get mad. No, the alleged loan was generated with your own signature. After you left the table, somebody over there, and I'm just going to go with bar members because that's as close as I get to linking them all together. Somebody over there stamped paid to the order of on that document and turned it into a security and processed it through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. Now, Modern Money Mechanics, which is a publication put out, some people that know way more about the fracking banking system than I did, said that those fools were granted 9 times the amount that went into the demand deposit account. 9 times. And then you pay them for years when the whole thing was generated with your own signature. And then if there's a problem, they give you back some of your money? Do they prorate anything? No. Hell no. No. They take it back, and then they do a charge off. They claim it on the taxes, write it off the insurance shit, and then they sell the shit again. I mean, I don't know. Mr. Loback, y'all, you can help me with this. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. When they get done with the boo-ha, ha, and I'm so full of crap, my next question is this. If your deed was not registered in their office, would they be able to verify that there was a lien against your property? I don't know. I'm not that smart. That's what I just asked them. If the deed was not registered back in the day, people just put, I just take a picture of that shit and text it to me. They ain't even got to come to my house because probably ain't going to go well. But, if their shit was signed and dated prior to mine, then we got a problem. If not, then they can get the hell out of here. We ain't got time for that shit. When did it get complicated where they have to register your stuff? Oh, wait. Did everybody know there was a registration of deeds association in every state? Is that where the start of that bullshit starts, of them registering your property so that you got all these property managers, all these people attorneys trying to get you to take the keys for cash. All these people tramping through your yard, and you don't even know your ass in foreclosure. It's because they registered your shit, or they tell you they're going to protect it. Oh, no. My opinion is they register that shit so they can get it in the land bank. Did you know there was a land bank? There's a damn land bank. Look that shit up. We found out from Darren Woods in Tennessee. He was helping it, saving his grandma. The land bank in Tennessee, Shelby County. Yeah, Shelby County. That's what I'm going to go with. The land bank. And the thing, shit of it was, there was 400 houses that were sold and less than 30 of them were delinquent. No, that wasn't shit of it. I lied. The shit of it was, no one knows where the money was. I know where the money was, and Channel 5 did too. I watched the whole thing. It's on a YouTube channel. You just got to punch in Tennessee or Darren Woods or Land Bank. So I know where they said, the guys said, we don't take people, we don't keep people out of the house. And they closed up their piece by showing property that was sold. The people owed $3,200 on it, and it was sold for $500 in the land bank to some people overseas. Look that shit up. Commercial break. Okay, so here's the thing too. The lien don't give the bank any time to do anything with the property. Okay, so one of the main things around here is get your deed out of their office. Anytime they drag your ass in court, shit, after you get things under control. See my homes down the field. Bam. You need to deed delivered. That's what the state law says they're supposed to be doing and why they're there, to make sure they're following the statute. The statute says your deed should have been delivered, and it was not delivered. And that's called real estate deed fraud, when they don't do what the statute said they're supposed to do. And now anybody that's aware of it is a conspirator to that. Oh, yeah, they're on the hot seat, and the attorney want to call in and talk some trash. Well, not call in. I wanted to call him, but I want to go ahead and I ain't in a hurry. So I figured they probably watching this shit anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and learn about them while we're rolling. So I'm gonna do a screen share. See, no, we want right there. Oh, low back and row. And so I think Mr. John Rowe is the one that emailed me back. He didn't like the email that I sent him, but I don't think he looked at the documents that the property owner stuck in their face. Roll back and roll. Yeah, so what they're doing to this property owner is they're making her think that she's responsible for the roof that they didn't fix because the insurance got jammed up because of some sketchy stuff they were doing. So they're passing all that on to the other people, but haven't fixed anything. And they're building all this fancy stuff right over here for all the people, officers that's running the show. And I'm pretty sure when the IRS gets done breathing hard, fire up their ass, and then we start to RICO. Oh, wait, IRS, they need to wait until we get our evidence first. Because I knew when got the RICO. Somebody got RICO on the table, or going to have it on the table. Well, we got the counterclaim on the table, but the table legs break when you get the federal stuff. But you know what? If you know what you're doing, there's civil RICO too, and you can bring that shit on the state level. And I don't know. I think I can bring it on the federal level too. Cause I got a license to practice law. Okay, sorry. And I had. Okay, I'm done. Representing Florida's condominiums and homeowners associations. We're gonna lie. I'm enjoying. I'm going to teach you how to punch these people in the face. The HOA. Proven results. I got some proven results too. Let's check out our attorneys, who we are. So that's Mr. Dan back. He must be the boss man since he's at the top with the most cheesiest thing. He needs to put his tie up so it goes all the way up. Come on, man. And that's Joe Guzino. I have to work on that. I know. Let me check and see. Oh, it was Dan Lowback that responded back to me. It was a boss man. Well, boss man, you can say that I don't have a license or whatever. And the state of Florida has already sent me like 3 letters, and well, actually 2. And then they stopped bothering me because nobody has a license to practice law. The state can't do shit to anybody. And federal government is the reason why that I learned how to do what I'm doing right now. And they don't think they want, they want to get in my face. They can bring that shit on down. I haven't sued them for what they did to me yet because I'm liking having to pass on you, sir. And we're going to be adding your assets to the RICO and stuff. So that's where we're going to go with that. Well, officers of low back and row. I wonder who Row is. Row wasn't in that picture, was he? Oh, so she's the boss lady too. Okay, let's go. Well, I emailed everybody anyway because that's how I roll. They all got emails. Well, we do. I don't know. Concentrate on practice. I'm representing relatives and homeowners associations and similar clients. Assessment collections. See, that's what they're doing. Assessment collection on the front end, making my customer think that they're being collected a lien on, and then they just call it lien dash foreclosure. And she doesn't know. I wonder how many other people that you guys screwed over like that. And we're gonna find out if you guys hear this in Sarasota, Florida, or wherever, and these people throw you under the bus. Call me. Document revision, legal advice. Oh wait, what? What they're doing has nothing to do with legal. It's fraudulent advice. That's probably what I would call it. Low back and row. Mr. Dan is a little grumpy right now. So they're making it look like they really helped the people. They make it look like they really help the people. My customer is worried that she's going to be going to jail because they got an unlawful judgment against her for shit that they should have fixed, and they spent the money building the fancy stairwell in a new area over there that they're working on for. Yeah, I'm way the hell over here in Florida, Mr. Dan. For some reason, I know what the hell's going on somewhere. You wouldn't be so mad and talking all this shit, but that's all right. That's funny. You make it look like y'all helping somebody. That's funny as hell. Because you know the people that you're working for, they know that y'all ass ain't doing none of this shit. Customer, client, look at that big old building. We didn't put a lien on that big old giant building right there. You're going to the table with $500 million. Law at Low Becker and Cook. Okay, well, it's not me, but I can't say her name yet. But I got it in my head. It's gonna be in front though, in front of all that shit. Let's turn that shit into a homeless shelter. Don't listen to me. Yeah, we copy and pasted it already, so we can paste it in the document that we sent over to them. Okay, Mr. Dan Lowback, dude, just send me an email. Let me know what day is good for you. We'll have a live stream. Just bring your happy ass to the stream, and I'll send you a link, and then you can explain to everybody why it is that you're grumpy with what I'm sharing with people. And I'm just going to tell you right now, you've seen the emails and the stuff. That I'm still not happy that I have the owners. The owners of the corporation, which would be the first two officers, not the officers of the HOA, the secretary. And no, I'm talking about the first two owners, the president and the secretary of the main corporation. And from what I found, and I'm have to do a little more studying because, I'm a little rusty on this property thing, that the same owners own the other complex in Miami also. And that might be where the money's going. I don't know. Well, I know some of the money's going over there to build all that fancy new stuff. At least that's my guess. I'm just guessing about the money. I know the money's not over here taking care of the people's shit like they're supposed to be doing. So that I know. Okay. And I know they're not happy about the exposure. Now, if there are other people that live in that, then you guys should take pictures of the damage. You should make little videos. And, real about it, we'll make a playlist. My customer is getting a playlist to put her stuff on. And we're going to make that the playlist for low back and roll, the stuff they stole. Okay, all right, that's what I'm going with, because that's what they're doing. And I know they almost got this person pushed off the edge of the cliff. So I know she's not the only one. Now, one of the things in my head on HOA, they tell, you own this. You don't own shit. All of that shit is corporate bullshit. And that shit works great for the attorneys when they're all getting paid and they're all happy about it. And the minute there's a situation, then they're going to bitch and they're going to do whatever they need to do to make sure they're making bang, and they don't give a shit about your ass. I know most people know that. And that's why I'm still looking to see who the officers are. Who are the main officers that are benefiting from the property? Not the condo, not the HOA, not that shit. The officers that are benefiting from the property. And if the officers from the other property over there in Miami, one of them has 21 arrest record with 21 arrests on it, and some of them for like $2,700 and $3,000. Oh, but it doesn't say what it is. How do you get that shit rubbed off? Okay, but if the two are connected, then that's going to be real interesting. People don't realize you can make these LLCs and hide your shit behind them, hide your ass behind them, or at least you think you can. Yeah, you can for people. You can't for people who ain't having that shit. Okay, because the LLC don't mean shit. I had a young man tell me, when I go into court, they're gonna let me because LLC do. Okay, tell them to take the LLC and stick it in there somewhere. Stick it somewhere. If it means losing your property or losing the reason why you're here kicking their ass because you're LLC, well, let's just think back. Is the LLC helping you? You can't defend the shit yourself going to court without, if the LLC was, okay, so there's a bigger problem. The bigger problem is, in this program, you're going to add them as plaintiffs to their own shit using a counterclaim. So now the LLC is shit. It don't have legs, arms. They can't sign nothing. It don't have a heart and it don't plump. I'm assuming that these people have blood in here. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But you see the point. If people want to be stupid, I sue both. I don't give a shit about the corporate. I'll sue the owner. I'll list the corporation as damages. That's what I did when I was jamming them up for my foster kids divorce case, which got dismissed. And you can go and do dismissed on the YouTube channel. Pull it up. Yep. And then the fancy attorneys tried to come and say, oh, I didn't serve the corporation, whatever. And then they had her name under the corporation. Because the corporation can't do shit by itself. I'm not that smart. So I told them, y'all need to go sit y'all happy asses down because I'm not a corporation. I don't have to kiss y'all's ass to do none of that magical shit or whatever. And I added both of their asses to my document, and I circled there just like they added both to her name and the LLC to their document to oppose my shit, which means they had to add her to it because her shit. I'm sorry, it's her shit. I don't play that shit. It's ridiculous. If they want to call, then they can just take the incorporation and they'll stick it up their ass, or you can sue their ass for violating the contract because they violate the contract because, number one, I think you can go out on a limb and say they didn't provide full disclosure. Oh, now we're over to the fraudulent concealment. Fraudulent concealment. Shit's everywhere. Oh, okay, so it's the easiest shit to kick, if you ask me. Mr. Dan low back. I'm just telling you, it's the easiest shit to kick. Because y'all happy asses try to lean jump. You can't lean jump and do this shit based off of a $15,000 fake ass assessment on the roof that y'all ass should have fixed years ago. And you would have had the insurance do that if you had spent the insurance money building that fancy ass shit over there with a spiral stair. I got a badge. I investigated some shit. I talk on the phone a lot. So Dan the man, you can come and to my stream and let everybody know why the hell you think that. I don't know. I got a damn bar card too. Federal bar. You got a federal bar card? I don't think so. If you do, I'll still kick your ass in court. So my customer over there. Sorry. I get stuck on the words sometime because when I'm having fun, then I want to run, but I have to walk fast now. So that's where we're gonna have a new package. Yeah, y'all know the HOA shit. I got Mr. Little Black over here talking mad and sending me email in all capital letters. I'm scared. You know what? The federal government jacked my family around, sent my happy ass back, told everybody I was mentally ill, and sent me back with a forced medication order because I wouldn't shut the hell up and kiss their ass. I'm not a deal taker, so I don't take the deal. And anybody that don't take the deal needs to throw this shit in there too. Okay? I didn't take the deal. Oh, okay. So I didn't get convicted, and I never been convicted of anything. Nor have I taken the deal. I didn't take the deal. They tried. They came and talked to me about the deal twice. And it was really pissing me off with the deal, okay? Because they gave them the get out of jail card. They gave them money. I'm sure they gave them some of the shit out of my wife's business. They gave them a whole bunch of free shit. Okay, for me, when it came to my deal, they told me if I all I had to do was just let them know that there was something going on in my wife's secondhand store. My high school sweetheart and the mother of my 3 kids and the other 28 foster kids tell you. Yeah, I just had to throw her under the bus, and they was gonna let me keep my big old fancy pretty house that that we were still paying for. And they was gonna let me keep my guns. Well, I kicked her ass and got my guns back anyway. And there's and I'm sitting here thinking, these people are on some stupid shit. The best they can do in the deal for me to lie on my wife of 35 years at the time so she could go to jail for the rest of her life. All they could do was offer me my own shit. I'm sorry. I was a little offended, okay? But I knew they was on some shit, so I told the guard to come into the room to sit down and talk with Cheryl Pilot And Denny Conway, investigator, piece of crap, and Sheriff Polly was an attorney, piece of crap out of Overland Park. All capital letters. Sneak. Yeah. And I was very calm. And the guard started to laugh, and then he caught himself, and they didn't know what the hell I said. So I told him what I said. So the guard said, Mr. Neighbors said that he's not in a hurry to go home right now because he likes the food here in prison. And that's when they started sending me out for meal evaluations. I'm looking back on that, okay, but I didn't have a bar card at that time. Okay, so you had to send my ass back with forced medication order. Then I appealed it from the medical facility with the help of my ex and a couple of other people that were helping her help us. And then I don't know how much time passed. Okay, I knew that I was getting out when, they started cheering. They saw in the newspaper that the judge had ruled that I was mentally ill now. 33 months. My science has been bothering me, so if I look funny or sound funny. 33 months shipping me around, giving me the beat down. 33, but that's all right. But, I may have sat in on the council on the situation. Okay, so the situation was that the Mexican guys were being told what to say, and it was being written down. So then they would all meet over there and learn it so they could, and then they would rewrite it in Spanish so they could read it. And so one day, a dude told me, he said, understands what I have. They knew what I was going to say. Oh, it didn't take me but a second. Yeah, you go in there all chained and shackled. They take your paperwork out of your hand. They put it on the table. They take all those chains off, whatever, and put you in a cell. Then they take that paperwork in the other room. Why do they do that? Why don't they just leave the paperwork on the table right there so when you come out to be handcuffed and hauled up to court, you can get your paperwork off the table? They take it in the other room and they scan it, email it up and scan it and send it up to the prosecutor so she can see what people are going to be saying when they get over there. Oh, this is kind of what you start thinking when they beat your ass for 33 months. A lot of time to observe how shit goes. And then you start talking to people. So that was easy. I said, okay. So the next time you go to court, take what you want to say, whatever your notes, fold them up, put them in an envelope, put a stamp on it, lick it, seal it up, put your address on it to Mexico or wherever the hell you live, and you can open up in court and read it. Because it's your damn man. Yeah, that's when they started getting a little pissed off and needed to get my ass out of there. So I didn't know. If it wasn't punching my family in the face in the first place, I wouldn't be over here doing all this stuff that they ain't happy about. That you have options. They're not happy about when people learn how to use those options. They're not happy when people learn how to channel that fear in the they're not happy when you learn how to do that in this non-conventional program. That's when you start learning how to have fun. Now, while we're here and I'm talking, I want to share with you guys. The challenge property tax lawsuit package. Okay, so this is, everything that you're doing here should be designed to make them deliver your deed as mandated by the property transfer statutes. We talked about that at the top of the. So this has a challenge the property tax lawsuit package, and which includes two other lawsuits. One for illegal taxes, and then one for actually this is three. It has 42 U.S.C. property tax foreclosure lawsuit for that process. Now, people get it twisted up. They don't realize it doesn't matter if it's a tax lien foreclosure, or if it's HOA foreclosure, if it's a judicial foreclosure. No, it doesn't matter as long as it's foreclosure on the end. Now, what we're learning now in the HOA shit, they can have lien on the front and it's still a foreclosure. That's what they're leaning the thing to do the foreclosure. And people have such a hard time. I wonder how many people got kicked out of their shit because they didn't understand that until it was too late. Now, added some new things, and this an affidavit of corporate denial of corporate existence. I added that to this package, the tax evasion demand to strike. There's a corporate tax evasion lawsuit. We had a guy that was facing corporate income tax evasion, and then he wasn't very smart. He decided to go to the hearing first before he attacked them. Then he disappeared into the other world. And then there's the 2026. That means it's updated. The challenge property tax lawsuit, where you're actually suing them for the actual illegal extortion from the collecting illegal. Oh, look how many times you get to sue them with this package. I got a badge. And then you got a demand for sanctions for mortgage fraud. Now, the demand for sanctions is like a mini lawsuit for you're suing them for Rule 11 for failure to do reasonable pre-filing investigation, whatever. Okay, but we go in for like, 2,200,000, whatever, just like a lawsuit. We use just like it's a lawsuit. So then we have a supplemental pleading. Now we add a supplemental pleading. It's to change what you filed already if you were doing something already in federal court or state court to crush them to get to federal court. And then we have their real estate deed lawsuit. So that's like I can't keep up with all these lawsuits. Temporary stay in order to block the state from receiving federal funding. That's the project that I worked on one time for kind of a long period of time to figure out how to stop the court, how to stop the funding, how to stop the court's money. Then the code enforcement letter for a due process violation. We added that because some people are getting jammed up with the grass and stuff, and then these fines lead you to this path to where they're lining you up where they can try to steal your shit. Notice of default, because they're not going to be able to answer to nothing. They can't answer to anything that you file on the state court level because they can't respond to statutes and codes or whatever. We added the offer to pay letter, which is what we use in online course. The offer to pay letter provides homeowners opportunity to challenge your alleged mortgage loan and all of that shit before you're in default. And the way that works is the offer to pay letter. There's a statute that statute says they're supposed to provide you the original altered instrument of indebtedness. It's actually the words, and they can't because that shit's in China somewhere. So they can't provide you the original instrument. Then so basically, what I have people serve the letter on everybody, even if you're not in foreclosure, okay? Because the judge, all these people are the same parties doing all this shit. And if I was in or headed to foreclosure, was going to be involved, but I had time to screw with them, I would still send. I would send to the judge. I would have them sign for it. Okay, so here's the thing. You're telling them in the letter that you're willing to pay the full amount plus an extra 10% for their troubles. As soon as they can sit down with your legal team and provide the original instrument of indebtedness in its original form. So if they can't do that, then they don't deserve to foreclose. Okay, so what is going to foreclose anyway, Coach? Well, I sent a copy of their documentation showing that you sent that shit to your clerk, whatever, so they all received it. And let them know, have their buddy set up a time with them so you can meet in the judge's chambers and do the swap thing, where they give you the original instrument of indebtedness as mandated in the statute that they're supposed to be following to make it fair for, and then you'll write a check, just like them. A fake ass check. No, you don't have to worry about that because they ain't trying to come to the table with that. They don't have it. Okay, so you use that to make their ass go sit down. Wait, this data I asked for the shit, you got it? If you got the shit, we'll sit down. You ain't got the shit, y'all need to stop playing with me. Yeah, I put that together myself, and that's kind of why we did that. Now, we actually have a video link here. Infomercial actually has 3 lawsuits in it, so I need to change that. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. What you'll be able to do: challenge the property tax collection, stop the property tax sale without a lawyer, challenge corporate tax evasion, federal charges. The lawsuit crushed that right up. File a new RICO foreclosure defense lawsuit. Mortgage fraud sanction, challenge the property tax with a non-conventional lawsuit. And then the supplemental pleading is if you make an error and you have to change something, or you can file a supplemental pleading in the case that you got going already if you understand what you're doing. And these are from some of the people that invested in this in the package. Now, the other thing too, we suggest everybody clouds your title with these documents right here. Well, not that one. Well, that's like a letter that you can get to try and make them back off your ass without getting the whole package. This one here is what you'd use to cloud your title with to make your property toxic, so nobody wants to invest in it. Because in order for it to work out for these people stealing your shit, They got to be able to get in there and do this stuff real fast and get somebody in there. So the notice of fraudulent conveyance, notice of less pendants. These are badass right here. These are tools that every homeowner should have filed in, placed in the public record, or turn those notices into judicial notices, set them up like it's been filed in a case. And if they ain't happy, y'all ass ain't doing nothing. Metalhead, welcome to the show. We've been going for a minute or two. I'm getting hungry. When you coming in at California? We got some shit going down in Florida. We have fire out there that went down in New York. And you guys an update on Henry. Henry, like a week and a half ago, the sheriff left another message. And a week and a half ago on Friday, I think it was, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I can't keep up now. They threatened to come out to his house again. And so he went back down there and filed a couple of more things. And and so actually he didn't get the stuff filed quick enough, and he didn't call down there and harass them like I suggested that he do in the first place. But he's still in his house. And we worked it out. I had to call and yell at while he was down there. Then I would call him. He was down there, and I yelled at him a couple of times to make him so. Henry's setting good. Nikki, she's in New York, and she stopped there. They had to stop. The attorney didn't show up, and I didn't think they would, because she got her RICO file. She got their notice of preservation. She got that, So now she needs to get her stuff in. Well, Nikki, what you need to do now is file for summary judgment, because they want to adjourn it until next month or 2 months or some shit. That's bullshit. If your ass didn't show up, they already have your shit in the yard by now. You need to jam the ass up for summary judgment and then get your stuff filed over. What's up, Eddie? Yeah, my people in Sarasota. Yeah, the attorney. Low back and roll. Want to go. I don't think they want to go no more. I don't know. Their ass on the floor. Making it work. And I got a badge. Yeah, I whipped it out one day when I went to the restaurant bar where I go all the time. And one of my bartender friends was talking to this lady. They were laughing, so I knew that, she was cool. And there wasn't anybody else in there. So I walked up and looked at him. I said, yeah, I got it on Amazon for $9. But my daughter sent me the chain thingy, and the other day I was pulling out to show off when we was doing the live stream, and it came off the thing, and I was looking like Barney Fife over here. But that's all right, because that's not what they thinking. They talking shit that I don't have a bar card, but I got one from federal court. Mr. Dan Lobeck, you got a bar card from federal court? I don't think your ass do have a bar card from federal court. What's up, Chris? So if you send me an email and you're a veteran, you should put in the subject line that you're a veteran, because I got 2 kids that went through that shit, and so I know y'all asses don't get near what you guys earn for what the sacrifices that you make. Dude, I'm here having a stream, man. I don't check my emails like that anyway. And sometimes I don't check that shit for a couple of days. So I mean, you can see I've been here for an hour and 11 minutes. So I don't think I want to stop my stream to go check my emails. That's usually not what I do. If you send it to me, I'll see it later. When I get done talking about Mr. Lobeck and Rose, HOA, a law firm mill that they used to help the HOA take advantage of people. Yeah, they go after you and say it's a lien assessment and it's a lien / foreclosure in the paperwork, but most people don't see that shit. And then this customer that I'm working with, she finally realized that it says right there, if you do the homework, I do the footwork, and I don't do the footwork going to court, logging into their shit or whatever. I do the footwork over there, off the beaten path, and I roll on my own shit. So I'm looking shit up objectively or whatever before I look at anybody else's stuff. That's how I like to do it, because most people don't realize that the goal is what? Why they're able to do what? If you can focus on why, think about it. You focus on what, you're just arguing. And then the judge gets to help them. Bam, your shit just got thrown out of court. I'm not that smart, but I don't like getting punched in the face, so I catch on real quick. If you go in and you arguing why they're able to do that shit, now you can separate the ass. And now you're addressing what nobody wants to talk about. The why. They're able to do this shit, Mr. Dan Low back, assholes, because the attorneys drag your happy asses in their administrative court. It's not connected to the federal rules civil procedure. It's only connected to their bank account. That's my assumption, okay? Because they're not giving us back the damn money. So yeah, and so now you're in administrative court process where they follow the local rules. They pull out of their ass at each location that aren't connected to anything except their bank account. But everybody thinks that you have rights. Well, they train us to think that. So you get mad, we need to go address the damn what they did. Damn it. Now why was they able to do that? If you get in my program and you get in with this mindset, why were they able to do that shit? That's the first mindset. The second mindset is, how can I stop the court process? That's it. Oh, coach, what about my house? Who gives a shit about your house? When you stop the court process, you make them give your damn deed. Okay, so you stop the court process, you're still in your house, right? Oh, you're worried about the judge is going to give you shit. The judge ain't going to rule for shit I'm sorry. The judge ain't going to give you shit. The whole process for this property theft is structured to do exactly what they're doing. The title office, bar members that work over here, bar members that move your shit. They don't let you take your stuff yourself. If you tell them, no, I'm not registering my shit in your office, so when y'all get done signing, I'll just take my shit home. Oh, hell no. They're going to tell you you're trying to get free shit and crush the deal while they have time to do that. You're trying to get free shit. Wait, y'all ass already got free shit because y'all got control of the deed. It's free. It came from electronic credits. Okay, maybe I'm crazy, but we could even take it even further down the toilet. Okay, so there's no loan. They didn't create a loan. The last loan was generated with your signature on that shit. They didn't sign nowhere. Down paperwork. The bank didn't sign. Oh wait, excuse me. They did sign after you left the table. When they recreate that shit, turned into a security stamp, paid to the order of on it, and then usually the bank vice president signs it, motherfucker, without recourse and whatever. Or Linda Green, the robo-signer, signed it or whatever. We're learning. Yeah, so you can see that we don't play around here, and they sent me some mad shit. So I'm happy they mad. Oh, they ain't matter to me with shit they pull and stuff they did to my family and all stuff that I don't know what all that shit is, Chris. You killing me over here. So we're gonna guys, thank you for the value of sharing your time. I need to go eat something and check on my puppy. Make sure she's still alive. Actually, she's doing pretty good.